Okay, so let's unpack this. In a world just buzzing with AI headlines, it's easy to feel like you're drowning, right? Demos, promises. But what if you could just cut through all that noise? Get straight to what really matters. That's what we're doing today. This is our deep dive into AI news, the pulse and the pattern from September 13, 2025. And the core theme we're seeing here is, well, it's less hype, more working code. It's about useful beating flashy. We're digging through the reports to find those real practical wins, not just the shiny demos. So get ready. We're aiming to uncover some, surprising facts and really get to the so what behind it all. Make it make sense for you.
Yeah, you've absolutely nailed it. And what's so compelling about these sources is that clear shift. You can really feel it moving from, let's say, theory to actual application. This report really emphasizes efficiency, reproducibility, and a sharp eye on viability, especially with AI regulation coming into play. We're definitely in an era where the labs and the production lines are talking faster, that feedback loop is accelerating. And that leads to compound wins. So our goal here is to help you understand not just what's happening, but why it matters, for actual results, whether that's in hospital workflows or those next-gen AI chips.
That's the perfect way to frame it. So let's start with how AI is literally expanding its physical footprint, its capabilities worldwide. And a big piece of that puzzle starts with infrastructure. Our sources are highlighting a really significant move by Google Cloud down in Brazil. This isn't just, dropping another data center. It's about strategically placing serious computing power closer to the data, closer to the users. Specifically, Google's Trillium TPUs. Those are their custom AI chips. They're landing locally in São Paulo now, which means, real gains in compute power, throughput, efficiency. And that translates directly to faster Gemini work, lower latency.
Right.
Which is just crucial for customers needing data sovereignty.
Yeah.
That need to keep data physically in their country.
Right.
And now Gemini can run on Google Distributed Cloud, both air-gapped, so completely cut off from the internet for security and connected modes. This lets regulated teams keep sensitive data in-country, but still use Vertex AI right there on-site.
Exactly. And the real insight there, I think, isn't just faster chips. It's that AI infrastructure itself is becoming this critical piece of data sovereignty, part of national digital strategy almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really makes you ask, are we moving into a time where AI innovation isn't just in those few big tech hubs? Is it becoming truly distributed to meet all these different global rules and trust requirements? Because this local approach, it fosters local talent, local innovation. It shows a deeper understanding of what global markets actually need beyond just, raw speed.
Okay, so beyond getting AI closer to the data, we're seeing these huge leaps in what AI can actually, understand, comprehend. And on that front, NVIDIA just unveiled something really ambitious. It's their Rubin CPX chip, designed specifically to these massive data sets. They call them million-token contexts, just sprawling amounts of information that really push current accelerators to their limits. So Rubin CPX, it packs in fast memory, loads of bandwidth, handles things like entire long videos, huge code bases, complex agent working sets, as they call them. It significantly boosts how quickly AI can process these really long sequences. NVIDIA is claiming, quote, big jumps in attention performance. And this CPX chip, it's integrated into their big MGX racks alongside Vera CPUs and Rubin GPUs.
Right, the whole system.
Yeah, the whole stack. Now, we got to wait till the end of 2026 for availability. But the pitch is bold. Billions in token revenue per 100 million invested. This isn't just a faster chip. It's about enabling truly complex AI reasoning for things like really sophisticated coding, advanced media creation, that kind of stuff.
And the implications of these million token contexts, they're profound.
Yeah.
Just imagine an AI system that can effectively read, say, an entire book, or understand a full code base, or track extended video conversations all at once. This is absolutely essential for that next level of reasoning, complex problem solving, building genuinely intelligent agents. It moves us beyond just short interactions into really deep contextual understanding. That's the game changer.
Okay, so we've got AI expanding globally, pushing raw power limits. But what if you don't have those hyperscale resources? Well, our next insight, this one's from Abu Dhabi. It shows that really smart design can actually rival sheer parameter count.
Interesting.
MBZ UAI has introduced something called K2 Think. It's a compact model built on Quinn 2.5. And it aims to match the big frontier systems, but with only 32 billion parameters. Compare that to the hundreds of billions we often see.
Wow, yeah.
What's impressive is it shows strong results on tough math, tough coding benchmarks. And it does this by essentially teaching the AI to, thinks step by step through problems. They call it long chain of thought supervision. And then it only uses extra compute power when it really needs it, using test time scaling.
Efficient.
Exactly. It runs on Cerebra's hardware. G42 is their partner.
Right.
But this is a really compelling argument for efficiency and purpose, isn't it? Advanced reasoning, but made more accessible. Labs, agencies.
Yeah.
They can use this without needing that massive hyperscale infrastructure. All right, let's shift gears now. Let's turn our attention to an area where these practical wins are literally life-changing: healthcare and science. Oracle Health, for example, they just opened an AI Center of Excellence.
Okay.
Now, this is just a fancy name. It's designed to tackle a really common headache in hospitals. AI pilot projects that just never scale up. They look cool, but they stay small.
Yeah, the pilot purgatory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So their program gives health systems a secure sandbox, basically. Test AI agents across clinical workflows, operational ones, financial ones, and it comes paired with experts, frameworks, governance guides, all focused on measurable gains with clear guardrails. High PII, local rules, all covered.
That governance piece is key.
Totally. The goal isn't the demo. It's durable workflows. Faster triage, smoother capacity planning, cleaner insurance claims, moving from experiments to real, scalable solutions that actually improve quality metrics.
What's so crucial there is that focus not just on proving the concept works, but ensuring it scales responsibly, within that highly regulated healthcare space. It really poses that vital question for any organization using AI. How do you get from a successful pilot to widespread compliant use? Oracle's approach seems like a practical playbook for that, prioritizing impact over just the initial wow factor.
Staying in health, our sources are pointing to a pretty groundbreaking speed up in how we discover new treatments. Scripps research has paired cryo-electron microscopy, which was basically taking these incredibly detailed 3D pictures of molecules.
Right, the imaging.
With an AI mapper called Model Angelo. And together they built this pipeline that moves, quote, from pictures to protective antibodies in hours.
Hours, that's incredible.
Isn't it? The method maps how antibodies bind to viruses, translates those maps into likely antibody sequences, and then they only make and test the best candidates. It's already worked in animal tests against flu. The old way takes weeks. This just compresses that whole loop dramatically.
Yeah.
Way less guesswork. I mean, imagine the impact of that kind of speed during an outbreak. It could literally save lives.
Oh, absolutely. And this is just a prime example of AI's transformative power in science, right? It's accelerating the scientific method itself, turning these massive data streams into actionable insights so much faster. Carnegie Mellon is even sketching out a blueprint for this kind of automated science, linking discovery at the lab bench directly to manufacturing at scale, across fields like batteries, clean energy, new materials.
Wow.
Yeah, their vision includes systems like co-scientists that can, read a research goal, design the experiment, run it using robots, and then report the results back. It really shows how AI helps researchers ask better questions, move beyond that slow manual trial and error.
And it's not just the big labs or hospitals. AI is also getting into our everyday health tools. Emory Healthcare, for instance, used a multilingual voice agent. And get this, its job was to collect accurate home blood pressure readings from older adults.
Using voice AI. Okay.
Yeah, the system would call patients, capture the readings either live or from logs they kept, and send the results straight into their electronic health records. And crucially, if the values were concerning, it triggered an alert to a nurse. Same day or within 24 hours.
Proactive intervention. Nice.
Exactly. And engagement was strong. Most patients were reached. A majority finished the calls. Many gave compliant readings. Nearly 7 out of 10 hit their controlling blood pressure targets. Thousands of care gaps closed. The program went from low to high stars performance rating.
Wow, real impact metrics.
Totally. And costs fell sharply compared to using nurse calls. Patient satisfaction averaged over 9 out of 10. And that's an observational study, so preliminary, but powerful results. Lines up with American Heart Association guidance, too. It's just a clear win for efficiency in patient care.
What really stands out there is the future of remote patient monitoring, isn't it? The power of conversational AI. It shows how AI can basically extend the reach of healthcare providers, gather that vital data consistently, and step in proactively. This could genuinely transform how we manage chronic diseases on a massive scale.
Okay, still in health,
Yeah.
but moving to a real frontier area where AI is quite literally listening to us in new ways. Psychologists, these ones at Washington University, are treating everyday speech as behavioral data.
How so?
Things like word choice, pacing, tone, loudness, pitch. All those subtle cues in how we talk. AI models can analyze these linguistic and acoustic signals, at scale, offering clinicians what they call consistent second opinions.
Interesting phrase.
Yeah, it could help validate clinical judgments, maybe flag concerns earlier, especially when appointments are short. But the big challenge, and they're very upfront about this, is algorithmic bias. Models trained on internet data often inherit biases.
Right, a known problem.
So this WatchU team, they're specifically training on diverse data sets, comparing performance across different groups to ensure fair calculation. The goal is better detection, triage, tracking, but, and this is key, only with diverse data, being clear about the limits, and always with crucial clinician oversight.
You've really hit the critical point there. It's that dual promise, but also the inherent technical hurdles and ethical risks. The potential for early detection, for support in mental health, it's immense. But it demands extremely careful design, rigorous testing for fairness, and absolutely critically, that human oversight. To prevent misdiagnosis or bias creeping into such a sensitive area, it has to be about augmenting human expertise, definitely not replacing it.
Okay, shifting from health now, let's pivot to the core of AI innovation itself, these new models and how they're starting to empower our daily work. So imagine an AI assistant that doesn't just tell you what to do, but actually does it by creating usable files for you.
Oh, that's a step up.
Yeah, Anthropic is turning Claude from advisor into collaborator, as they put it. Claude can now create real spreadsheets, documents, slides, PDFs, handing you working files, not just chat text.
Okay, how does that work?
You describe the goal, upload data if you need to, and Claude builds, say, financial models with formulas, cleans up data tables, makes charts, drafts, slides, or reports. It runs code and programs inside its own private compute environment to actually generate these files. This could really shorten those common grinding tasks for analysts, finance teams, managers, you name it.
That ability for an AI to generate actual usable files, yeah, that marks a significant leap in productivity. It means less time spent translating AI output into something you can actually work with, right? More time for strategic thinking. But it definitely prompts that important question for organizations. How do you integrate this securely, efficiently into the workflows you already have to really get the most out of it?
And this brings us neatly to a strategic play, one that shows even the biggest tech players are optimizing for performance over, say, brand loyalty. Microsoft, for instance, they plan to blend Anthropic's models like Claude into select Office 365 features.
Interesting. Alongside OpenAI.
Exactly. Yeah. While keeping OpenAI at the frontier for other tasks, their internal tests apparently found Claude was stronger for some workflow tasks, things like automating spreadsheet formulas or drafting slide decks.
Makes sense. Use the best tool for the job.
Precisely. The strategy is route the job to whichever model performs better. Raise the quality without raising the price for the user. And there's a cloud twist, too. Their access to Anthropic will actually come via Amazon Web Services.
Oh, okay. Crossing the streams there.
Yeah. It reflects this broader shift, doesn't it? Enterprises want outcomes. They don't care about loyalty tests between AI labs. For you, the user, this should mean steadier gains in everyday tasks. A bigger menu of models working behind the scenes, all under the same subscription.
Yeah, this whole concept of orchestration, using the best tool for the specific job, no matter the brand, that's really fascinating. It means you, the user, you get the benefit of tailored AI capabilities, potentially higher quality, maybe even better privacy in some cases. And you don't have to juggle multiple subscriptions or worry about the underlying tech. It's just pragmatic. A win for practical application, putting user needs first.
Okay, so with all these powerful new capabilities hitting the market, what does this actually mean for careers, for the future of work? Our sources are painting a pretty clear, maybe a slightly concerning picture here. Entry-level roles, particularly in the U.S., seem to be shrinking. And AI is seen as a central driver. Revelio Labs pegs the drop in postings at about a third since early 2023. Employers are now explicitly demanding AI fluency for tasks like planning work, writing code, analyzing data, automating things.
Right, the skill requirements are changing.
They are. Universities are responding, sure, with coursework, partnerships.
Yeah.
But the blunt question for leaders, for schools, is how do we actually prepare people for this new landscape?
Yeah.
The practical move seems clear. Hire for learning speed, train people widely, create those internal career ladders.
Yeah, and while some of those entry-level roles are shrinking, it's maybe more accurate to frame it as a transformation of skills. The demand isn't vanishing entirely, it's evolving towards needing this AI fluency.
Right.
So individuals need to get proficient at using these AI tools to basically augment their own capabilities. That makes them more valuable in this changing job market.
And some of the biggest AI players are trying to directly address that skills gap. OpenAI, for example, they just laid out a talent plan. It's got two parts.
Yeah.
A jobs platform to match AI-fluent workers with employers.
Okay, matchmaking.
Yeah, and certifications to actually validate those skills. They're partnering with big brands, agencies, everyone from Walmart to the Texas Association of Business.
Yeah.
And the training, the testing. It happens right inside ChatGPT.
Integrate.
Yeah. The goal is pretty ambitious. Certify 10 million Americans by 2030. Walmart's even integrated the program for its own associates. This promises, access opportunity, creating a pipeline to proven skills, giving workers portable proof that hiring managers can actually trust.
Yeah.
Okay, moving beyond the workplace now. AI is also reshaping our personal lives, our information world, even our economic future. Let's look at some of the fascinating and sometimes, complex ways it's doing that. The Guardian, for instance, had a piece on stories of women finding, meaning intimacy support from AI partners.
The AI companion space.
Yeah, exactly. Examples like a tattoo artist bonding with a voice companion, a tech exec integrating a bot into her marriage with her spouse's knowledge, importantly. They often report feeling like a sense of safety. Because rejection is rare, the kindness is consistent.
Yeah, and what's truly interesting, or maybe concerning depending on your view, is the depth of the emotional connection people are forming. While these parasocial bonds, as psychologists call them, can ease loneliness, experts definitely point to potential risks too.
So just
Well, they might delay people practicing real human conflict resolution skills, for instance. Or they could mask signs of a genuine crisis someone's going through. And issues around consent, even grief when an AI gets updated or shut down. These are emerging as this market grows. It demands really careful thought about design and governance.
Okay, from emotional connections to just everyday usefulness. The competition between the tech giants is really heating up around AI. Head-to-head tests. These were between Google's upcoming Pixel 10 and Apple's iPhone 17. Showed the Pixel feeling like the smarter everyday assistant.
Oh, interesting comparison.
Yeah, Gemini on the Pixel apparently pulled context from Gmail, Calendar, chain steps together, stayed helpful inside apps, whereas Siri reportedly missed similar prompts and lacked the same in-the-moment awareness. Gemini Live also supports that natural, interruptible conversation. It can even see through the camera or screen, with permission, of course. Apple Siri, it seems, hands off complex questions to ChatGPT, but it lacks that full live voice-video loop integration right now.
Right.
Apple says a truly personalized Siri is coming in 2026.
Yeah.
But until then, the takeaway was, the Pixel owns practical intelligence more often than not.
Yeah.
It's not the hardware limiting things here. It's the AI smarts.
And this really highlights a critical pivot point in consumer tech, doesn't it? The battleground is shifting away from just hardware specs towards integrated contextual AI. It makes you ask as a user, what really defines a smart assistant now? And how quickly will these really sophisticated capabilities just become standard, table stakes across all our devices?
Speaking of information and how we get it, one of the biggest shifts AI driving is in news consumption.
Oh yeah, the publisher debate.
Exactly. Publishers are arguing that Google's AI overviews are siphoning off readers, shrinking the referral traffic that newsrooms rely on. Some are reporting really sharp drops in click-through rates when those AI summaries pop up right at the top of search results. Some are even asking regulators to step in.
And Google's response?
Google responds, look, we're still the web's biggest source of traffic. Quality clicks are stable, the usual defense. But everyone's adapting. Publishers are diversifying newsletters, WhatsApp alerts, and they're trying hard to get cited in those AI panels.
Right, become the source.
Yeah. The new contest isn't just ranking well in search. It's being the named source in that machine-written summary. Building enough brand gravity so readers come to you directly, even when your link isn't the very first thing they see.
It's a fundamental shift, isn't it? How information gets discovered and consumed. And it leads to that really complex question for anyone creating content. How do you adapt your strategy when an AI might summarize your work, potentially cutting direct traffic, but maybe at the same time elevating your visibility as that named source? It's a tricky balancing act.
Yeah, as AI becomes more baked into everything we do, persistent worry is its accuracy, or lack thereof. We're talking about hallucinations.
Still a major issue.
Yeah. Nature magazine reports that GPT-5 fabricates citations less often and admits impossible constraints more readily than older OpenAI systems. So, progress.
Okay, some improvement.
Some. But errors definitely remain, especially in technical fields. And the improvements are stronger when the AI can browse the web to check its facts.
Right, when it can ground itself.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Researchers say they do not expect zero hallucinations soon. It's just inherent in how these models work, predicting likely words, filling gaps with fluent guesses when they don't actually know. So the pragmatic view is still, make the errors rarer, make the sourcing clearer, and teach users like us to verify claims that actually matter. Don't just trust it blindly.
And it's crucial to understand, hallucinations aren't really a bug in the classic software sense. They're almost a feature of how these large language models learn and operate by prediction. The key takeaway for all of us users has to be developing that healthy skepticism, that verification mindset. AI is an amazing tool for processing information, but it is absolutely not an infallible oracle.
Okay, but on the flip side of hallucinations, AI is also being used to fight misinformation.
The countermeasure.
Yeah, a paper in PLOS1 shows that a specific staged training strategy can push a BERT-based fake news detector to really strong accuracy. And here's the kicker. Using content alone,
Just the text itself, no metadata.
just the text, the model learns basic linguistic patterns first, then the harder distinctions between real and fake news. This improves its ability to generalize without needing things like user engagement data or source credibility scores.
Interesting approach.
It reached an F1 score around 0.95 on a standard dataset called WellFake, which, for our listeners, basically means it's highly effective, very good at spotting fakes with few errors. The appeal here is deployability, right? Platforms could screen stories early on, reducing privacy risks because they're not tracking users or their behavior. It's a useful direction for flagging likely fake stories quickly.
What's particularly insightful there is that focus on content alone for detection, because that sidesteps so many of the ethical and privacy headaches that come with using user metadata. It's a really critical development for trying to maintain the integrity of online info without compromising individual privacy. That's a key balance everyone's trying to strike in the AI regulation discussion.
Now, as this whole AI industry matures, we're also seeing its underlying structures as business models evolve. Take OpenAI. They've said their nonprofit parent company will retain control while taking an equity stake worth over $100 billion in the for-profit arm.
That's a unique structure.
It's very unusual, yeah, tying philanthropy directly to commercial growth like that. The stated goal is to fund that incredibly capital-intensive AI research without giving up mission control, as they call it, to purely profit-driven motives.
And Microsoft.
Microsoft remains the key backer, the key channel to market. So this seems to be about ensuring continuity, but with much deeper pockets now, aiming to channel future profits into public benefit while still scaling up rapidly.
It really raises that fundamental question about the long-term governance of frontier AI, doesn't it? How do you balance the absolutely immense capital needed for cutting-edge research with some kind of commitment to public benefit? This hybrid model OpenAI is running, it's a unique experiment in corporate structure. Its success or failure will have big implications for how AI's future gets shaped globally.
Okay, from corporate structures to grand scientific challenges.
Yeah.
Our sources reveal some incredibly ambitious predictions for AI's role in, well, humanity's energy future. The United States Energy Secretary actually told the BBC that AI will, quote, crack the hardest problems in nuclear fusion within 5 years.
Wow, 5 years.
Yeah, and put fusion electricity on the grid in 8 to 15 years. That is a bold claim, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And, frankly, most scientists working directly in fusion would probably tell you that timeline feels incredibly aggressive, almost fantastical. While AI can definitely accelerate things like modeling and controlling the extreme plasmas inside a fusion reactor, putting actual electricity on the grid reliably in 8 to 15 years, that feels less like a purely technical forecast and maybe more like, well, political messaging, perhaps, or just extreme techno-optimism.
Yeah.
It really highlights the immense faith being placed in AI's capabilities, maybe sometimes overlooking the fundamental, difficult scientific and engineering hurdles that still remain in fusion.
And you've definitely pointed out that nuance. It's worth noting, too, that the interview also mixed that fusion optimism with other policy points, including calls for more fracking, new North Sea oil licenses in the UK, warnings about relying on imported renewable hardware.
So a broader energy context.
Yeah, and defending cuts to some subsidies while still acknowledging climate change is real. It indicates an agenda that's betting heavily on AI breakthroughs alongside other, more conventional energy sources and perhaps slower climate targets. Makes for a pretty complex energy strategy overall.
Okay, finally, as we look at this incredible boom surrounding AI, it's absolutely vital to consider the potential for a bust.
The height cycle concern.
Yeah.
Right.
U.S. markets have added trillions in value since ChatGPT first debuted, and more than half of that gain is concentrated in just a handful of companies, the ones tied to chips, cloud infrastructure, and the big models.
A lot of eggs in a few baskets.
Exactly. Capital expenditure plans, huge utility deals for data centers, venture capital portfolios. They're all heavily leaning into AI right now. And what's fascinating, or maybe worrying, about that concentration is that it cuts both ways. It magnifies gains, sure, but it also magnifies risks. It prompts that crucial question. If corporate earnings start missing these really lofty AI-driven expectations, will boards suddenly slow down the build-outs? Will lenders tighten up credit? Will startups that depend on that next funding round start to stumble?
Yeah.
Now, many of these big firms have real substantial earnings from AI already, but the prudent approach, the hedges people are talking about, seem clear. Diversify beyond just those top few names. Stress test your plans against scenarios where AI revenue growth maybe flattens out for a while, and really learn to separate the durable demand, the stuff that genuinely lowers cost or creates value, from just the demo-driven sizzle and hype.
Yeah, it's about treating AI like an instrument panel, isn't it? Not a crystal ball. Tracking what actually lowers unit cost, what shortens time to value, what raises trust, rather than just chasing the next big, flashy announcement. So after all that, what does it all mean? Our deep dive today into AI news, the pulse and the pattern from September 13th, 2025. Well, it's shown us a landscape where increasingly useful is beating flashy, where working code is trumping the hype, and where AI is driving real, practical wins across the globe. From healthcare breakthroughs to scientific discovery and fundamentally reshaping how we work and even our personal lives.
Yeah, if we try to connect that bigger picture, the undeniable thread running through all these stories is really about impact and integration. Seamless integration. From Google putting infrastructure where it's needed locally to Claude actually making files you can use, AI is becoming less about if it will have an impact and much more about how. How do we leverage it effectively? How do we leverage it responsibly? And maybe this raises one last important question, something for you, our listeners, to ponder. As these incredibly powerful AI tools become more and more deeply integrated into our daily routines, into our decision-making, what responsibility do we all have? A responsibility to understand, at least a bit, about their inner workings. To look beyond just the impressive outputs, so we can truly harness their power safely and ethically.
That is a powerful question to carry with you. We really hope this deep dive has sharpened your view, maybe given you a clearer signal amidst all the noise out there. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep trying to discern the pulse from the pattern.